Okay, we want to take a look today at the Service Manager Control Panel, what we're calling direct entry function, which is similar to the old Windows-based contract breakdown. What this function does is it actually builds out the order for you. So if you have your quantities, your descriptions, and your costs, if you just enter those, just the minimum, what this will do is it will create the items in inventory. It will add the items to the order, it will add the labor to the order, and it will break out the proportionate billing values for each. So essentially it builds out the whole order. You don't have to do it manually. So let's take a look at this. We're looking at the screen, should be familiar. It's the order header screen. We have a contract here, $5,000, but nothing on the order yet. So let's go to the details. We've got our default line, and we've got a new button here. It's called direct entry. So I'm going to go to the direct entry screen. This is where we enter the basic information to build out this order. So by default, what I've got here is a billing amount that matches the contract amount. So if I have nothing at all in this order and I need to build it out from scratch, then we need to build out to $5,000. If, on the other hand, let's say you have a contract and say there's $100,000 worth of material and so on already, but you just need to calculate a change order, I could put a change order in here. If I had a $100,000 contract and wanted to build out a $2,000 change order, if I put 2,000 in here, all the math will work with the 2,000 for the change order. So let's take a quick look through this. This is the unit labor cost. This is what you determine is the cost for your unit of labor. So in this case, we're going to use the old standard truck day. I'm just going to say that my cost for a truck day is $200. And I'm going to pick a labor type. Now the labor types are maintained in the edit labor types functions. I'm going to pick one here, but real quickly, just as a little background, I want to show you what this includes. A labor type has a name. It identifies which labor item you want to appear on an order when you build it out, because this will put the labor on automatically, and you have to tell it which item you want that to be. We've got one here called labor to install. It's got the category for the labor, and then it has a markup amount. And what will happen is the cost of the labor, the cost of your labor, which is the units of labor times what you determine as your cost, will be added to that markup amount, and that will be the billing value for your labor. But the calculation, don't go too crazy with the calculation right now. You can go back, take a look at it, and understand it. Let's go back to the direct entry screen. So I've picked my labor type and my location and my item category. These come by default from the order header. And what I want to do now is simply put in the items I need. So I'm going to say 3, quantity 3, and I'm going to pick this one, which I've had in there before actually. My extended material cost is how much it cost me for those 3 items, and those 3 doors in this case. So I'm going to just put a number on here. Don't pay attention to my numbers. I try not to make them real because they get distracting if they are. Wouldn't know anyway. Estimated extended labor units. And I'm using truck days. You could use man hours, you can use man days, you can use hours, whatever you typically use. But I'm going to say 2 days for these 3 doors, okay? And I'm going to do a simple example for the demo, but I'm going to add operators. So I say we have 3 operators, and they are, who knows, AB operator. And I'm going to say that they cost me $250 a piece, $750 material, and I'm going to say it's 1 day's work. So now I'm done. Now what I want to do is I want to calculate these billing values. How much do I want to bill for these things to break out of the billing? I click that button and I get my billing values. Now these total up to the amount I've got in here, which in this case is just my contract amount. I'm setting this up from scratch. So I'm happy with that, and I'm going to add these to the order. Now before I leave this screen, let me just point out this screen tries to be self-documenting. This explains what each of the required fields is. This explains the actual calculation, how these calculations are arrived at. So when you get to the screen, if you want to understand how it does it, take a look down here. It should explain it. In any case, we're done. We've put the items in. That's all the entry we need to build this order. And now I'm going to create the items and add them to the order. So when I click this button, it brings me back to the screen, but now see what I've got. I've got my items built. They're actual real inventory items now. I've got my associated labor that goes with it, and I got my billing values, my extended price, and of course it all totals up to what I asked it to total up to, the 5,000. Now the purpose of this breakout is if you have an AIA schedule values, for example, that you need to present with your application for payment or whatever, for whatever reason, it breaks down the values for each of the items and totals to the contract amount. Also, you may go out and only install the doors, for example, and bill just the doors and the labor. This breaks it out so that you don't have to do it at the time of billing. It's already done, and all you need to do is identify what was done that day, and your billing is already set out for you. So that's a quick look at the direct entry function. This takes the place of the old contract breakdown program, which was a Windows program. Means we no longer need to flip over into Microsoft Windows, and you can do all your work now on a mobile device, a tablet, any kind of computer. It also streamlines a lot of the contract breakdown. You notice there are a lot fewer fields in it. It does the whole build out, soup to nuts, and it does not depend on OH Direct. So we're not sure where OH Direct is headed as of today, but we're pretty certain that it won't work the way it does currently, so we're prepared for that also. So you'll have to key that description in there, and the rest of it is pretty much automatic. So that's a look at the direct entry function. Like I say, name may change, but function should remain pretty much the same.